No, God does not drive a Prius. Yeah, yes, I know he's a do-gooder earth saver, but he does not drive a Prius. That's right, he doesn't drive anything. Hello everyone, Martin Zender, and God is going to rehabilitate the earth, but through drastic means. He's going to actually save the earth, but not by our minuscule methods, which actually make things worse. He is going to do it on a grand, great, glorious scale, and the destruction is commensurate with the glory. You'll always find that with God. Jesus Christ becomes the lowest, and then he is exalted above every name that is named. He already had a fantastic glory before he came to earth, but because of his shame, because he went to the lowest point on the earth, literally, geographically, and the lowest place as far as being the recipient of all sin, human and celestial and subterranean. No one could go lower. Therefore, he is exalted above and beyond. This is why you and I are blessed to be in these flesh buggies. That's my fancy name for our vessels of dishonor. We're in flesh buggies, and because of that, we're going to be exalted above the messengers who, you might envy them now, but they're up there in the air-conditioned heavenly precincts, and they are envying you. They are envying you. Those lucky people, those lucky flesh buggies. They have flesh and blood. They are low right now. They're being pummeled down there, but they see our future, and they know that the lower you go, the higher you go, so they're envying you. And so God is the ultimate save the earth Prius driver, except he doesn't drive a Prius. He drives a bulldozer. All right, now the fourth trumpet is coming. As you have seen, as we have looked into, God is taking away all human comfort. And he does this with good reason, because finally humans are going to realize that all their blessings have come from him all along. But until they're taken away, these blessings, they're not going to realize it. And they're taken away in a big way. The first trumpet touched the land. The second trumpet touched the sea. The third trumpet touched the drinking water. And now the fourth trumpet is going to take away that last little shred of joy for plants, animals, and people, the sun and the moon. I can do no better here than to read the beginning of this section called the fourth trumpet. This is in the book The Unveiling of Jesus Christ by A.E. Nock. I am on page 273. You can download this book or read it for yourself at concordant.org. And I believe the category you want to go to is expositions, and you will find there the unveiling of Jesus Christ. Follow along with me. The fourth trumpet. This is Mr. A.E. Nock, who wrote this book around 1936. Thus far, the devastating judgments have destroyed man's means of living. The trees and herbage are burned, the fish are destroyed, the water is poisoned. Earth is not a pleasant place to live. Is that the understatement of the year? I kind of like that. Very, very well played there. Earth is not a pleasant place to live in when a large part of the bare necessities are destroyed or deal out death instead of fostering life. But the sun, the source of life, still shines, and the moon gleams bright, and the stars still sparkle in the heavenly vault. Here, then, is the sphere of the fourth infliction. It's devastating again, and it's pulling out the tablecloth. You remember that tablecloth trick? You have all sorts of dishes set out on a table, and you pull the tablecloth out real fast, and all the dishes stay put. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to work. But when I practice this at home, it's not the way it worked for me. Much to the consternation of my mother, I would pull the tablecloth and everything would fall, break. Dishes, good dishes, were shattered. But that's exactly what happens here. Everything has to go. And how terrible when the one source of comfort left When you gaze into heaven, doesn't everything seem so sure, so fixed, so constant, so steady? The sun comes up every day, and again, we're bored by it. This is the fourth trumpet that takes away the lights of heaven. But the sun, the source of life, still shines, and the moon gleams bright, and the stars still sparkle in the heavenly vault. Here, then, is the sphere of the fourth infliction. Heaven from above, as well as earth beneath, contributes to the consternation of mankind. Again, what an understatement. Consternation. Yeah, I am consternated over the fact that the sun usually comes up at 6 a.m. and it's noon and the sun hasn't come up yet. And I'm not in either the Arctic Circle or in Antarctica. This is scary is not going to be the word for it. To continue from A. Enoch, those beneficent heavenly orbs which give us light and warmth, on which all growth depends, retire behind a sable curtain as though ashamed to look on such a scene, and add their share to the chilling misery and sickening gloom. Let's read the actual passage. We're in the Unveiling, chapter 8. I don't know about you people, but I am glad I'm not going to be here to see this. And the accusation will come to me, you're an escapist, Zender. You just want to get out of here. Number one, yes, I do want to just get out of here. And if you tell me that you want to go through more trials because you're a tough guy, then you're crazy. We're not going to get out of any trials. We're not going to pray our way out of trials, as if God answers your prayers anyway. Have you prayed lately? Okay, he hears your prayers, but he doesn't do everything you tell him to do. So don't worry, you're not going to pray yourself out of your trials, as though, as I said, God is going to do something because you said it, and then you're going to get to heaven, and he's going to go, oh man, I wish you hadn't prayed for that because I had some more beneficial trials for you, but you blew it because you prayed, and you twisted my arm, you got a prayer circle. If only it had been a prayer square. I never pay attention to prayer squares, but you had to get up a prayer circle, therefore I had to bring the snatching away early, in fact, 2 years early. You've robbed everyone, Zender. Everyone is robbed because of your selfish little prayer, Lord, deliver me. Well, that's just fine and dandy. I am a realist. I will admit to that. I never am any kind of ist. Some people try to call me a universalist. No. Some people try to call me some other kind of ist. What? Is there another kind of ist? Not a stupidist. That's not even a word. Yeah, but I'm a realist. And I know that I've had enough of this, but I also know that I'm not going to come back, and I have told God, we've had private conversations, God and I have told him that I will go through whatever I have to go through in this life. And he's just going to take me through it, and don't worry about my complaints. God, that's what I tell him. So, but, that means that I do complain sometimes, and it's true. And I do pray for deliverance, and I believe that's good. We're supposed to pray for deliverance. Thy kingdom come, Jesus said, thy will be done. He taught this prayer to the disciples. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Pray for his kingdom to come. Well, it wasn't going to come for over 2,000 years, but they're supposed to pray for it, long for it, and want the deliverance. So I'm praying for it, I'm longing for it, and I want it. Is that so bad? No, it's actually healthy. It's actually healthy. You don't need to orchestrate your own trials. I was looking for something here, Revelation 8. You don't need to orchestrate your own trials. You don't need to be your own trial meister, because God will bring enough trials for you. Deliver us from evil was the prayer the disciples prayed. That's pretty intelligent. Deliver me from evil, Lord. Deliver me from evil. No, idiot. I hope this isn't you. If I'm insulting someone out there, I apologize. But if you're an idiot, you deserve this. No idiot goes out and says, Lord, it's just not tough enough down here. Bring me some more trials. I need some more aggravations in my life, some more frustration, some more unrealized dreams, some more dashed hopes. Dash a hope today, will you, Lord? No, nobody says that because that's absurd. We all want out of here. And we are going to get out of here. This is not escapism, this is scripture. It delights God. Ephesians 1 talks about the delight of his will, and the delight of his will is to do this for us, to deliver us from the coming indignation. We are not appointed to indignation, Paul says. I think that's in 2 Thessalonians. It's possibly in 1 Thessalonians. the fourth messenger trumpets. I'm in the unveiling, verse 12 of chapter 8. And the fourth messenger trumpets, and a third of the sun, and a third of the moon, and a third of the stars were eclipsed. They don't disappear. They don't fall like the sizzling comet absent. They are just eclipsed. What eclipses them? I'm not sure. It almost sounds, I'm going to go on a limb. It sounds like the eclipse that we know. When, for instance, the eclipse of the moon is when the shadow of the earth is projected on the moon from the sun, which is behind the earth. And a solar eclipse is when the moon comes in between the earth and the sun. So I'm wondering now, in all my astronomical genius, if perhaps a large heavenly body will come between our view of the sun and the moon. Where do I get that? From the word eclipse. And I don't know what the King James says there. I might need to look into that. Then again, I might need not to, because I don't want to. And a third of the stars were eclipsed, and a third of them may be darkened. I'm going to talk about this third tomorrow. And the day may not be appearing for a third of it, and the night likewise. The day will not be appearing for a third of it. Can you imagine when the sun doesn't come up? Can you imagine what a horror that will be upon the earth? Somebody said I look pretty good in my glasses. I need my glasses now, but I don't have them. I'd put my reading glasses on if I could, so I could look scholarly, which I like to do. Eclipsed. I want to look this up live here. Eclipsed. I just wonder what the English elements are, and I want to look what the Greek word is. There's ecclesia. I wish I had my glasses. I don't know. I think, isn't that an irony? You need your glasses to find your glasses. This kind of stuff drives me nuts. You need your glasses to find your glasses. Eclipse, sun, blow. The element is blow. Flesso is the Greek word, and the English element is blow. I don't see how that fits. I'm sorry I pursued that course, but maybe not. I just don't know. But anyway, a third of the stars were eclipsed, were blown. I'm going to think about this. A third of them may be darkened, and the day may not be appearing for a third of it, and the night likewise. Now, verse 13 will end chapter 8, and that is a harrowing passage. Just verse 13 alone is a harrowing passage. Humankind, I should say, is going to learn the lesson of Nebuchadnezzar. And tomorrow I will start with that lesson. It is an important lesson that is going to come to a society, namely this earthly society, that has taken every single blessing it has for granted, even the privilege of gazing up at the sun and the stars. These are going to be eclipsed, blown away, not removed, but blown from our vision somehow. And it's going to be seen once again. It's learned over and over again, even by us who we still take things for granted. But the earth, the world at large, is going to learn that God rules on the earth and in the heavens.